Hello everyone. So today I'm going to be demonstrating how to create a sandwich that has even had old friends coming back after months of not talking just to ask me how to recreate this sandwich. The double toasted grilled cheese sandwich. It's perfect for when you're too hungry for a snack but not quite hungry enough for a full meal. Now, I've been making grilled cheeses for quite some time now. I could say since I was a small child, so I've had a lot of time to perfect it. Now, I've been making this particular version of the grilled cheese sandwich for about 4 years now, and since then I've made it for many people and received no complaints so far, only compliments. Now, I decided to teach you guys about the grilled cheese sandwich because it's a very popular snack. Everybody seems to love it, but I feel that there's certain aspects of it that are missing. So I wanted to teach you guys the art of making the perfect grilled cheese sandwich. So to begin, you just need to clean off your workspace, and I just wipe down my countertop with a wet wipe. A wet washcloth will do just the same. I just personally like wet wipes better. I already took the liberty of cleaning off my stove top, but I have my stove already on just to heat up the pan a little bit ahead of time, so I'm not going to do that because I don't want to burn myself. All right, so for ingredients. What we need for ingredients is we just need bread, cheese, and butter. Now, for the bread and butter, you can use pretty much any, and same with the cheese, but I personally like mild cheddar the best. I think it goes with the sandwich the best, but it's all up to you. It depends on what you like. Now for supplies, all we need is obviously a plate, a cheese slicer. Now, whether that's an actual cheese slicer or if you use a sharp knife, that's up to you. It's all your choice. I don't mind. And then also we need a butter knife, of course, for the butter. All right, so now that we already have our pan on and heating up, we can just get to the process of buttering our bread. So we just get obviously 2 slices of bread and we just start to butter them. Now, it's up to you how much butter you want to use exactly. Now, I personally like a lot of butter. I like to, just completely soak it in butter. Now, other people, they watch calories, but I don't really think you need to watch calories. I think that if you're going to be eating a snack, you shouldn't be worried too much about being healthy. But again, it is all up to you. Now, you do want to make sure not to use too little butter though, because if you use too little of butter, then it will actually dry out the bread and it'll be no better than just using a regular toaster. See, the benefit of using butter on your bread over an open flame is it retains some moisture and oils and just a little bit more flavor altogether. Okay, so now that we have this completely buttered and our pan is completely heated up, we're good to just go ahead and set this right on that pan. Now, you need to be careful as to not burn yourself. Obviously, when you're working with an open flame, you can burn yourself. It gets very hot, so be careful. Okay, so now that that's done, we can close our butter up and just move it out of the way and move our plate out of the way until later. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the cheese. Now, sorry for all you cheese lovers out there, such as myself, but we cannot use big slices of cheese. Thick slices of cheese will not melt in time. Now, if you're using a low heat, I currently have it at a medium heat. If you're using a low heat, then maybe it'll melt in time. It won't toast your bread as quickly, so you have a lot more time. But for this, we're trying to speed up the process a little bit. We're hungry, so we're going to use thinner cheese slices. So I personally went with about 3 centimeters, but it is up to you ultimately. If you do want, not perfectly melted cheese, you can use thicker cheese slices, or you can use thinner cheese slices if you don't like cheese as much. Okay, so now that that's all done and that's set aside, let's fold this over as to not let our bread get dried out. Okay, so now should be at least a little bit Oop, there we go. It's perfect brown. All right, as we can see, this is about as brown as you want it. You don't want it to be too dark, because when it becomes too dark, it just, I don't know. For me personally, I don't like it. Now we're just going to take the cheese and just set it in there. For this, it takes 1.5 slices for this size of bread, but yeah, so what we're going to do is we're just going to flip it over, keep that sandwich, try to make it as neat as possible just for the aesthetic of it. It doesn't really matter if it's messy or not. Okay, so again, we're just going to take that extra cheese, we're going to put that aside, get all our counter space cleared off, get our plate back and ready. All right, and so now from here, what we have to do is just flip it a couple more times, push down on it just to, get the heat, get it all smushed together, get the heat closer to the cheese as to melt it. I can see that the cheese is already starting to melt. It's already almost completely melted. All right, now again, you can use as high of a heat as you want. You can leave it on longer if you like it warmer. I personally don't. This process is the most painful process because it's so close to being finished and it smells amazing and I'm getting hungry just looking at it, but I want it to be perfect, so I'm holding off for about another 30 seconds. It's starting to become a dark tan now, which is, for me personally, the best. That's exactly how I like it. So now we have our plate prepared. This is all set. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn off that heat. You don't want to leave that on because obviously you can burn your house down if you don't. We don't want that. That is the last thing we want. We're just here for a snack. We're just here to enjoy a little meal. Okay. Smush it a little bit. I like my grilled cheeses a little bit smushed. Okay. So now, as you can see, I've created it's a little bit light. You know, if you want it a little darker, that's fine. As I've said many times, I feel like I'm repeating myself. And if you notice in the center when you cut it open, it's just really soft. It's all soft, and the cheese inside is all gooey. It's almost mushed together, and it's amazing. It's just beautifully soft, mushy, and just gooey in the right places. So what you need to take home with you is to make sure to toast both sides. The inside, toasting that adds just the right amount of flavor. It just adds that little burst. And also, again, don't use your regular toaster because that will only dry out your bread. You don't want a dry grilled cheese sandwich. I've never heard of anyone making it that way, but I just want to clarify. You don't want a dry grilled cheese sandwich, so definitely use butter over an open flame. It just makes it perfect. So, thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope you enjoy your perfect grilled cheese sandwich.